Why is the US market so bad? Well, specifically, why is it so bad when the EU market is so hot? The CISO of one of the largest banks in EU came to our college to talk about cybersec in our sec class. Told us they'd hire us all if we just had motivation and our bachelor with 0 certs. I get offers for data engineering and SWE work every day with 1 internship under my belt and no degree yet. Everyone I know has no trouble at all finding work. Why is it so different in the US? I'm from Europe and the market is not that good IMO. It's good if you're willing to take anything. The most common job postings are some sort of CRUD. Back-end churning, web dev, Java, React jobs. I think if you are in more specialized fields, things get worse, i.e. in ML data space. There are just a few job postings. Usually senior. Very low interview rate. And the requirements are usually something like 5 years. A year or 2 ago it wasn't difficult to find entry roles. Now they are gone. From what I've seen, similar happening stuff with fields like embedded SWE, cybersecurity, etc. What proof is there that the EU market is hot? One word: salaries. US salaries are about 4 times what the EU ones are. So, in difficult economic times, I can say the EU market being more resilient. I could earn easily 2x or 3x more in US than in EU market. So it's not really hot here. What could be happening is that since in EU the salaries are much lower than US, some US companies might prefer EU employers instead of more expensive US ones. Since EU has overall matching culture and quality as US market. Remote working is definitely negativity impacting US hiring right now. IMO. Especially appealing is Eastern Europe because there is a glut of overqualified Russians who fled to Serbia, Belarus, etc. We are hiring top-tier Yandex devs for about half the pay of an average dev in the US pre-pandemic. The EU job market is a joke, dude. Have you seen how low their salaries are? Most European engineers can't even afford to rent a 3-bedroom apartment. My friend, the EU market is shit. EU market pays like shit. Why do you even bother posting? Man, you clearly are still in university and don't know shit about the job market. Why make a direct statement like the EU market is so hot if you're obviously not knowledgeable on the subject? Anyone applying for jobs in the EU, employed or otherwise, knows it isn't that hot. Plus, the pay is shit. Come on. Now compare salaries. And no, free healthcare in Europe will not save you enough money for them to match. Coal is same if not higher. Taxes are higher. I'm from Belgium and I can say that the US market is much better than the EU market. Sure, 10 of the time it's easier to find a job out of college in the EU. But only if you're willing to settle for euro 2,000 euros 3,000 per month. In Belgium the average salary for a SWE is 40,000 a year. That's 1/3 of what you guys are making on average. Note our taxes are also much higher than yours. Like 60 type of high for a 6-fig salary. Words cannot describe how envious I am of your job market. The US market isn't cold. When the EU market is so hot, the what now? Why is this post getting upvoted when you have no idea what you're talking about? EU market is not better than the US. And hasn't been better. Because they don't pay you 150k salaries in the EU. Big tech would hire a lot more if they could just give 40k to their entry-level devs. But nobody would take that. Boot campers with no experience. Universities churned out web developers like crazy and the market dried up. Only in the US could venture capitalists fund so many obviously lousy, unprofitable businesses. These companies need to start making money soon or they'll go bankrupt. What people forget is that these loss-making companies are all each other's customers. So when they all stop spending at the same time, it's a vicious circle. Combine a bunch of layoffs with a bunch of people who learned programming to get a high salary. And the result is obvious. Europe is much more conservative when it comes to tech companies. They're less eager to fund nonsense. EU market is not hot lol. It's crap here too. Only difference is in cheaper countries it may be hotter because no one has any money to hire expensive devs. US UK. Get ready to learn FRNCH buddy. TBH, the US market is not as bad as it seems. I would wager the sheer volume of graduates here lends to a more competitive market, and the hustle culture of the US workforce drives fresh grads to believe it's FAANG or die. Combine that together and you'll see more the market sucks. I can't find a job for kids who did their degree expecting to pop out into a 200K year position with little to no prep, complaining to Reddit that the market is unfair. Tons of our jobs get shipped overseas to places like China and India. This is a regular occurrence in the States. An entire trucking company is also automating with AI right now. Hollywood is also being automated. We have 350 million people and also have gotten many millions of illegal and legal immigrants the past couple of years. There are lots of things the Federal Reserve and US government are doing to wreck our economy. So lots of businesses are failing. It's a wild time to be alive. What country? Greedy executive-level management and board of directors shareholders. Also because more so now than before. CEO makes a risky decision that costs the company millions, results in the firing, laying off of workers to cover the losses. CEO makes a risky decision that ends up succeeding and making the company millions, results in firing, laying off of workers to increase the CEO shareholder bonuses. The job market has always been tough for junior employees. It still is too. My last company was actively moving projects and new positions from US teams to Czech and Israel based teams. The talent is just as good but for a third of the cost. 2 words: capitalism, greed. It is interesting when I got to watch it while abroad and on return. CEOs and corporate are quick to throw American workers under the rug in the name of profits. Then you had the Fed throwing them money like free candy on Halloween during the pandemic when the rest of the world was pulling back, and now they have cut the line for it with rising interest rates. You will see a stark difference in pay anywhere else in the world. It is not actually bad at all. It is just down from its all-time peak. That feels bad when you are used to endless growth in the sector and you are trying to break in. But overall, there are a historically high number of people making a ton of money in the field. 1. Economy is pretty bad right now. 2. Europe is hurting for talent. And from my primarily French company, most good talent flees to the States due to salary caps. 3. How are you getting offers every day? Don't you need to apply? Don't companies have positions to fill?